Okay, it's recording now. Still don't have a joke, do we?
No, neither of us do have a joke. We could just flash your face up on the screen for a second or two.
No, I've already done that. That was a joke.
Have you?
Well, I had the whole background as my face for the one where I read the story.
Oh, I haven't. Oh well. Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Pomcast. My name's Jared.
And I'm David. Kicked it off with a great start there.
Oh yeah, just the incessant
Fantastic.
ramblings. That was our housemate laughing. I hope it wasn't at us.
Well, what?
It may have been, but it doesn't matter.
No, it should be.
Anyway,
Hi.
yeah, hello. I've been out this morning, fucking bus
No,
driver.
I mean H.I. Hello Internet, the podcast that you told me to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually not what I meant, but I changed it halfway through.
Yeah, you have a habit of doing that. With a lot of conversations. Anyway,
Change the meaning for comedic effect.
and that comedic effect is really only for you.
Yes, it is. Do you have conversations for other people?
Well, usually other people do have to be involved, and sometimes those conversations are for them.
Okay.
Like these ones that we're recording, so other people can listen to them
Oh.
for their enjoyment.
Maybe.
I don't know, some people that I know seem to think they're quite enjoyable. I don't know why, but they do.
Funny.
You're funny looking. So,
That's why this works, because...
yeah, your face is not there.
Yeah. Though I have put it there, as we just discussed.
Yeah, which I didn't realise you did.
This big old face.
Yep. Anyway, so Hello Internet is a podcast that has two gentlemen doing a similar thing to what we do, probably just with a little bit more structure.
As they referred to it in one of them, a two dudes talking
Yeah.
podcast.
Two dudes talking, which is, yep, very much like this. And I started listening to that on recommendation from somebody that I met through band, and I have been quite enjoying it. I haven't listened to a huge amount. David has now surpassed my listening of their podcast. They started in 2014 or something, doing Hello Internet.
Yep.
And
I'm still in 2014.
yeah,
I've listened to like 10 of them.
there's a lot of them.
But they range
so
from
far.
about an hour to 2 hours.
And the one that, when I bring it up so I can actually
Number
get the...
3.
Is it number 3?
It was, because I listened to it again.
Oh, good. Yeah, number 3, which is called The 4 Light Bulbs.
What does it mean? Who knows? Goodbye!
Don't do that. That's just rude.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, they had a discussion that lasted about 50 minutes about the work-life balance. Now, I like...
JKLMNOP.
Yep. I like Gray in that their podcast sort of have a
Oh,
little
we
bit
should
of
probably mention who it is.
Oh, yes.
Did we say it? Anyway, it's...
I think we said it last week, but still, we'll reiterate.
CGP Grey, who is a YouTuber
Who does all of those very informative videos.
that take months and weeks
yeah.
to make, and he stresses over all of it to make sure, because he's afraid of being wrong on the internet, which is fair enough. And Brady, someone who is...
I think it's Michael Brady, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's Michael Brady. He used to work as a journalist and...
For a newspaper.
Yes, and then worked for the BBC.
He's Australian, but he sounds like a New Zealander.
It's very confusing to the ear. I couldn't quite decide what his accent was at the start until I went on Wikipedia and had a little bit of a scroll through what he does. You may know him on YouTube as Numberphile.
Or like 12 other channels
yeah.
that he has.
Yeah, he has a lot of channels.
He has over 2,000 videos
And-
across like 12 channels.
It's incredible how much...
And that was 3 years ago, so it's probably a lot more now.
It's incredible how much content he has put out. But anyway, these two discuss quite a lot of things. in their podcast, and the work-life balance is one that came up, and I found quite interesting because I'm not necessarily in agreement with what Gray put forward as there being only 4 light bulbs.
Well, it'll be different for how many light bulbs and what the light bulbs represent in your life.
Yeah.
I guess. What you value, because you're not just going to put a light bulb there that's not something you, like, wouldn't sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's I think that's a very good point. If you're not going to sacrifice something for another aspect of your life, what's the point in having a light bulb for it? But
Destroy it.
the thing that I found interesting is he put forward that there are 4. There are family, friends, health, and work. Now, I can understand all 4 of those, but I would add a 5th in terms of, I would call it hobby, but mine would probably be more accurately labelled band. And I think that's I think having the 5th one is probably a better idea. But then his premise is that you have the 4 light bulbs and you have 100 units of energy to use across those 4. And you average it out to give yourself a number. And
well, in the next episode, they had a heap of comments about the analogy doesn't really work in terms of electronics because you can just wire the light bulbs in parallel.
Yeah, but that's not.
And then there's like this whole other thing. But anyway,
yeah. But for the purposes of it, I think it's a good analogy in the sense that you can only divvy up that 100 units of energy into the 4 separate light bulbs. And he said that you can evenly spread them out 25, 25, 25, 25 to get you 100, but none of them will shine that brightly. And he was going on about how he made a conscious decision to pretty much switch the health light bulb off and have a lot of energy put into work to then become self-sufficient on YouTube. And that makes a lot of sense. Although it then got me thinking about how I structure my life, and work is definitely quite low for me at the moment. It's it will be very soon off. Probably more like 1 because I will be actively searching for work, but
which is your job until you have a job,
yeah,
basically. Unless you're me.
Yeah, yours.
I've actively switched off the work.
Yeah, you have.
But in terms of my light bulbs are more like there's work and education.
Yeah.
Which are kind of similar, but one just doesn't get me money at the moment.
Yes.
So education will lead to work. So I just put them together.
Yeah. Which is where I can't do that because the other facet of my life being band, I can't merge that with anything, probably apart from friends, to be honest. But that's also another thing. I have friends from work and other facets of my life that I don't. Not every friend that I have comes from band.
Franz.
Yes, don't forget to bring some Franz.
So it's interesting to think about. And the other thing, when Gray mentioned in the podcast that he actively switched off the health one, like for me, I couldn't think of anything. I can't do that for
medical reasons.
For medical
for health reasons.
Yeah, funny that, but I can't do that even if I wanted to because things would get quite bad and deteriorate and blurg. Because having problems at 24 years of age is great fun.
It's a nice spine you've got there. It would be a shame if it had a degenerative. Kind of like my speech. Quite. I'm not even going to attempt to say it again. Please continue.
Degenerative back problem.
Sure.
I have a mild form of arthritis in my back because of a fall. Because my friends are like, let's go skating. It's like,
hey, that's a very good impersonation.
Yeah, I know. I had a fall and now my back will, for the rest of my life, continue to get worse. Although since losing weight, it is nowhere near as bad as what it used to be, which is quite nice. I don't wake up in the middle of the night screaming in pain and having to be taken to the emergency department.
Do it.
That was great fun. But,
I'm
you know.
sure it was.
So it's just an interesting thing because I was thinking about it. If I was to, if at the moment being overseas, very far away from family, if I had to divvy up time, numbers into light bulbs, mine would probably be like, I don't know, 15 in family, probably 10 in health. So what's that? 25. Probably about
Math.
yeah.
Can you sum up 5? What's 100 divided by 5?
20.
There you go. You've done a
Yeah.
math.
Probably. So what did I say? I had 25.
15.
15. 5 in health.
You said 10 in health.
10 in health. So 25
25. So you got 75
left.
units of energy.
5 probably in work because I haven't really been doing much with it,
30.
to be honest. 30. 20 in friends.
France.
20 in friends, and then 50 has been in band because I've been doing so much with it.
Yeah, you just have a band light bulb.
I
You have
yeah,
an entire
I have a
light
separate
bulb for band.
yeah, and I'm not disappointed by that at all. So quite happy. I don't know.
Half your life is band.
Well, considering I have been doing it for more than half of my life, yes. I started when I was 10.
Mathematically, by what you just described, yes.
Yeah.
50% of your...
At the moment, when I get back
Time
home,
and
it will be probably 40.
Probably more. It's going to go up. It's going to keep going.
Well, I am intending on doing the solos next year, so because that was another thing that we described about drive and things that I enjoy doing musical solos. So
Musical solos.
yeah. So you'd I'd say yours is probably like.
All right, let's see what we got. Let's get. No, this is your guessing. About
This is you.
What I.
All right. So you've got family, friends, health, and
Work/education.
Family. 10. I'm gonna guess 10. Friends. I live with you, so it's kind of not that you really have to try too much. So probably 2.
So yeah, this is like time and
Yeah.
what's our metric? Time and effort. Just units of power.
Yeah.
Your engine,
So
which can be, yeah, we'll go with
5 for what did I say? 10 for family, 2 for friends.
two. That's good.
2 for friends. Health probably 3 because you go on walks and things like that. And 85 into education.
I do a fortnightly walk.
A fortnightly, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's about my 2 weeks or a fortnight if you're,
Able to understand that concept.
English.
Yeah.
What did they call a fortnight in America? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What? Shit. My attention span, or I had another word for this, but it's gone. My ability to concentrate on something usually spans, I found, about 2 weeks that I can focus on one task for about 2 weeks, and then I just tire out, and then I go for a walk. So I walk 12 miles, literally, in a day, and listen to a bunch of podcasts and read some book, and then that's like my recharge. So I've got a 2 week battery.
Yep.
That's it.
And then he puts all of that 85.
I'd say it's
amount
more
of
than,
unit.
I'd say it's more than 85.
Okay.
I put not really a lot of effort into. I'd say 90. So we'll just split the family, friends, and what's the other one? Health. No, I put a bit more into health. I don't eat shit consciously. It's just something. Is this like effort or? I'm not sure. Because there's eating and there's exercise, which is health, physical health. I mean, the mental health, we'll just ignore that because it's fine.
We'll ignore that because it's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a combination of how good your work or health or family or friends have been, which may constitute towards your mental health. I mean, you can work on your mental health.
Yes.
Specifically, but meh. So I'd say 90% of my time is just work/education. So that just leaves the rest of it is just sort of
divvied up between the other three.
I'd say 5 for health because it's it's me, so I'm gonna take care of me, and then 2.5 for family and friends each, respectively.
Yeah.
Even though they're the same, they don't have to be respectively.
Okay. So it wasn't far off, but
No, I mean it's fairly obvious since we live together.
yeah, exactly. That it sort of gives you a whole new outlook on the other person. It's been fairly interesting.
I'm 90% educational.
And to be honest, I don't think we're not difficult people to live with in terms of how we structure our lives.
Correct.
We don't get in one another's ways, so that is a good thing.
Yes, we have separate chairs.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
don't sit in the same chair.
No, that helps.
That would be slightly Oh my god, is the couch like us sitting in the same chair?
Well, it is the same chair, but it's a big chair, so it's fine.
That's fair enough.
But
like my education/work light bulb is made up of a whole bunch of what you might consider hobbies, but they're all like, if you combine all the hobbies that I work at, I just call it work, then I've realized that the combination of like my art, I've been doing 3D modeling the past few weeks, programming, and music, and well, my software engineering pending degree, work in progress. Continue that next year. You combine that all together, you get
what you want to do as a career.
which is essentially game development. If you combine all of those skills, I can do pretty much every aspect of game development, albeit not perfectly.
I was about to say, you are the jack of all.
Just working on it.
You are the jack of all game development trades and the master of none.
Sure, yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be a master. You just need to do all of the things, and then you don't have to employ people.
Well,
and they don't get paid.
That's
Because
why
they don't exist.
Well, that's why I keep getting things done in music, because I am somewhat the jack of all trades and the master of none, but I seem to be a fairly good jack of all trades, so that's okay. So, on to something completely different.
Monty Python.
I had somebody take a general
Boink.
Don't grab my finger.
Okay.
I had somebody this week take a general observation and get incredibly insulted by it.
Oh no! How could someone be insulted by an observation?
Whilst I'm not...
Triggered.
I'm definitely not triggered by it. They're triggered by it.
They're triggered, that's what I meant.
I made an observation in the world that I am in that... And it was much a reflection on my playing as well as the band's, that we were not putting a lot of emotion into what we were playing.
Emotion.
And somebody took that as a dig at them, not the band as a whole. Because I was vocalizing it to be as much as a reflection on my playing as well as the band's. The conductor asked what we needed to put into the music, and I was just like,
emotion.
It needs more emotion. And then somebody's gotten incredibly cranky with me because
It's funny. It's really funny.
I cannot for the life of me understand how it got to that point, because it was a general observation. Like,
People have their arrogant pride to take care of, and you sort of tarnished their own perspective of themselves, their own ability.
Christ, I've been specifically told to my face, maybe you should consider just not doing music. And I've been less affronted by that than a general observation about the band that I've been in. I don't know. It just... the question in a normal podcast like this would be to pose you, have you taken anything like that to heart? But I know that you probably haven't.
No, not on either. I haven't experienced either side of this, really. I think there was one project for university where I did It was like a half. It was basically a whole class group project, but there was only about 8 people in our class,
Right.
which is a terrible size for a university group project, especially in first year. Like, no, it's terrible. So it was really bad, and the other classes, there was like 2 other classes doing it, and they had about 20 students in them. So our class was half the size, and their videos were, because we had to make a video, can't remember what about, but theirs were fairly interesting, and went for a certain amount of time and had a bit of comedy in them. And ours was just crap.
Yeah.
Nobody took any charge of it, really. So, like, at the end of the video, I just put in me, because I edited it, because, it was easier for one person to do this.
Yes.
So at the end, I just went through and explained why the project was a failure to everyone, which was actually got us a pass in the for that task.
See,
because it was somewhat related to working as a team. I can't remember exactly what, but so that was like, oh, you understand what should be done. You just didn't do it. I was like, that. Like, I know how this should work. It just didn't happen, and these are the reasons why. So next time we can improve, but I'm leaving. Bye.
See, well, that's the thing. That self-reflection, like, particularly in music, you have to have that. You have to be able to, because you're practicing in a lot of cases, just one piece of music or one section of a piece that just doesn't work. And you need to be able to have self-reflection to look back and go, well, this is wrong, this isn't working, this, that, and the other. I've conducted bands before. I've sat in so many different ensembles under so many different levels of playing as well, with a huge array of professional to very beginner musicians. So I'd like to think that I have an understanding of what's needed. But then for somebody to take a comment as simply as it needs a bit more emotion, as a personal attack.
Maybe they thought they needed more emotion, so they're expressing the only emotion they know, anger. Not in the playing, but
I don't know.
Themselves as a person. So they're demonstrating their emotion to you. And what you should do would be like, that's really good. Now channel that into the music. But maybe not anger. Maybe just better. Just play better. That's the emotion we're trying to put
this is
in.
the thing. It's not that...
competence.
It's
competence is an emotion, right?
No.
Damn it.
It's not that the playing's bad. A lot of it's there. It just, to get it to sing and to get it to tell the story of these 2 warring tribes and the lovers between them, it just needs a little bit of emotion, which it didn't have in the one instance of us being recorded. It didn't have that, and that was my comment, and somebody took it as a personal affront. And I hope that myself in my adult years, I hope I never do that, because it's just a silly way to live your life, is to take a general observation and get shitty. It's like me being a Labour supporter, taking a general attack on the party as a personal insult. It's just, to me that those 2 things are on a similar level. That would just be dumb to do. So, but anyway. What else?
What are you looking at me for?
I saw you had a list.
No, that was just my general list of... I have a lot of lists, okay?
Okay, well, do you have
anything?
Notes,
lists and notes. No, they're very personal. Stay out of my personal affairs.
I'm not asking to delve into your personal affairs.
Well, why didn't you ask?
I don't want to.
I'm just... Well, why didn't you ask?
I'm curious as to whether you have anything to discuss in front of the microphone. It's got the little blue light.
The little blue light. It's a good microphone.
It is a good microphone.
The past week, what have I done? Well, I've been rending flesh off people's bones. I'm a murderer.
A murderer.
I'm a moidler. I'm gonna moidle you. I've been doing 3D modeling in
Yes.
Blender, which is a free open source 3D modeling software. It's real good. I mean, it's very confusing at the start, but then you're just like, it's not that confusing. Once you actually learn what's going on, there's just a lot of buttons, and a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Like every key that you press, it will do something different. Depending
joy.
on which panel of the user interface your mouse is over. So, press, like E in one panel, will do extrude or something, and press E and like some other panel and it'll do something wildly different. But if you know all of that and you get used to that, you can be incredibly efficient. To just like move the mouse and press this button and then go with that instead of having to dig into menus to find stuff.
There are a lot of programs that do that. Sibelius is one of them, the music writing program. If I was to be more efficient on it, I'd need an actual desktop computer with a proper keyboard and everything to get, instead of clicking every single thing with the mouse.
Yeah.
That is infuriating, but that's okay.
Another thing I like that a lot of programs are starting to do is they'll have a shortcut for like a command sort of palette thing. So in Blender, if you press spacebar, it just comes up with like all of the possible things you can do, and then you can just like search for something.
That's cool.
It is cool. They do a lot of it in like software integrated development environments, text editors, basically. It's like searching, instead of searching the file, you're basically just searching all the commands in the program, which is much more powerful than going through each menu and looking for something. If you know something that's what it's vaguely called, then you can be like, oh, I want to unwrap this. It's like, oh, there's multiple ways of unwrapping this mesh.
Cool.
3D software. It's fun. Anyway, I made a pawn. I made some pawn. PAWN. That is, it's a chess piece. I modeled a chess pawn, and then I put it on a bit of wood, and then I put a HDR image environment background.
It looks creepily like a photo. That's all you need to know.
And some marble texture over it. So I could set it. I'll just probably set it as the background.
Yeah, I was about to say
can
we
look at
have this week's background.
Great, there you go.
I don't-
It's marbly thing.
The only photos I have at the moment are of
a crab.
my
person.
very muddy shoes in West Kirby.
Oh, that doesn't even sound good.
We went to the beach and
it was just mud.
well, it wasn't a beach. Well, it was a beach. It was sort of like an estuary almost. And yeah,
That's not a beach.
Well, yeah. West Kirby, it was lovely, but it was very muddy. I don't know why Finley and Matthew decided in their infinite wisdom, let's walk across the sand, and Kira and I were like,
sand is the worst.
Yeah, particularly when it's wet and
It's like, please
blah.
just make it into some glassware.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I'd like.
But anyway, I had a good day when we went there,
no.
but my shoes were incredibly dirty afterwards. They're
Whoa.
fine now.
Wow.
Hmm.
Whoa. Getting real into nature there
Yeah.
on some sand.
Yeah. Because we've been talking about this quite a lot in the previous weeks, about electric cars and automotive technology. Quick thing. China has legislated that they're going to ban sales of petrol and diesel powered vehicles. I don't know what year by. It was just sort of they have decided that they're going to outlaw them, which good news. Electric vehicles will soon be, well, they're going to have to start producing them at a more increased rate, because if China is going to stop buying petrol and diesel cars, there has to be an alternative.
Well, they've got a lot of smog over there, so
Yeah.
they should probably work on that issue.
So
Which it seems they'll do.
There's that, and Renault is very much considering bringing the Zoe small electric car over to Australia. Nissan has just released the new Leaf and details about it.
I believe it's Nissan.
Anyway, which should be about 40 grand. And And the government is working, the Australian government that is working in incentives to buy electric cars with possible lower interest rates and things like that. Although the ACCC is saying you need to go further and offer rebates and things like that. But anyway, we're getting somewhere. Slowly, but surely.
I guess.
It'll be right. And renewable energy costs have dropped in the UK as well. So the cost to produce wind power is at an all-time low, which is excellent because if you've got a low output cost, which means people will invest in it, which means we have more renewable energy. So
it's just wind, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's just depressing
it's
that...
good. It's good for you. It's good for you.
It's just depressing that we currently have Mrs. May in Downing Street and Mr. Trump in the White House and Mr. Top Hat Turnbull in Kirribilli. A little bit disappointing, but
At least we're not North Korea.
Yeah.
You can always be thankful of that.
Communism, not a woo. Not a woo.
It's not communism.
It's a dictatorship.
Yeah. They have elections, right? I'm sure they do have elections.
I don't think they do.
I swear they have elections.
You might be
You
thinking
just have a tank.
No, you might be thinking of China. China has elections.
Do they though?
Within the Communist Party, they do. But I don't think they do in Korea. No. But that's okay.
The bubble of China. China bubble.
China bubble.
What are
like
they
a bubble
again?
tea, but just a country.
Never had bubble tea.
I haven't either, and I don't intend on it. It doesn't look that appealing.
All I know is you just have a straw and there's plastic and you stick it through. Is that bubble tea? Bubble? Boba tea? Bubble tea?
No, it's bubble tea, because it's got the little bead things at
Boba tea
the bottom of it. And
what? Bead things?
Oh no, they look like little marbles. That's what bubble tea is.
I thought it was just like fizzy tea.
No.
Oh, that's bubbles.
That's being carbonated.
Yeah. Bubbly. Bubble tea.
Yeah, but
So it doesn't actually have bubbles in it. It's just got weird orbs at the bottom.
It's just got orbs at the bottom.
Some weird... It's probably like seaweed or something.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Great. Well...
Talk to you next week.
Yeah, okay. We'll end it. Bye.
Bye.
No! No! No!
I'm touching my knee.